What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we have some very interesting news about the characters in this game, alongside a little kind of fun fact, I guess you could say. So it kind of revolves around all these mythical things that have been going about the universe, etc, and essentially just finalizing that. Now this news does come from Bill Roseman himself, and just in case you guys don't know who Bill is, he is actually the vice president and creative director over at Marvel, and he's been there for like 21 years or something like that. So it's been a very long time, and he's come out on Twitter and posted a tweet that says, "Marvel Games is a multiverse. We want brackets developers to create their own original stories and not be encumbered by other mediums or games." Now, of course, the reason why this is important is because we have heard the mythical is Spider-Man, universe going to be implemented into, of course, the new Avengers game. Is there going to be some type of link, etc. So I took to Reddit and actually read some comments about it, and someone did of course ask that question, what happened to them saying that Spider-Man was the beginning of a game universe like Iron Man was basically to the MCU. Someone did say meaning it's the game to kick off all other Marvel games, like how Iron Man kicked off the MCU, not necessarily in a connected way. Now, a lot of people are saying that it didn't make sense, etc, but it does, alright? With the whole, Marvel games kicking off that universe, you have to say it was Spider-Man PS4. It is definitely the biggest, I guess, superhero game out there in terms of how popular it is, alongside, of course, just how it's done in sales. Now, to add to that, of course, now you have the Avengers game, now you have them opening the door, of course, to multiplayer aspects, etc. that Spider-Man PS4 wasn't able to offer. Essentially, it's still, tagging along from that, but going into a different direction, which then, you never know, we might just well get, an Iron Man open world game. We already know there's an Iron Man VR game coming, so you really just don't know. It seems like there's a chain basically being kicked off from there, but it's clear to say that, of course, as far as the universe and everything goes like that, there is zero connection between Spider-Man, probably PS4, and the new Avengers game, but more than likely you can expect to see Spider-Man in the game as hopefully a playable character. If not, you're definitely going to get a load of Easter eggs, just like the ones we have seen before that. Now, to add to the more interesting news, Vince Napoli has the answer. Now, if you don't know who Vince is, he worked on the God of War main character, design, combat, etc, just literally everything of the main character of God of War. To be completely honest with you guys, I've not played that game a whole lot in depth. I mean, I've probably played it once or twice, and that was ages ago, so I've never really been a massive God of War fan, but from what I've seen of it, it does look incredible. Now, Games Radar actually got to interview Vince Napoli, as he is now working on the new Avengers game. So this is what Games Radar said. He's lending his expertise to Marvel's Avengers, making Iron Man, Black Widow, the Hulk, Thor, and Captain America feel every inch of a superhero no matter which one you play. I got the chance to chat to Napoli about how he's going to make us feel like we are a hero with every punch, kick, and explosion. Now, Napoli did say the following: "One of the key things I've used at pretty much every place I've worked is, here are the rules for the character. They don't step backwards. They don't move backwards in their fighting. It's just not their style. When it comes to someone like Captain America, they are always, keeping their head, looking forward, because they are always keeping their eye in that line, like a trained soldier is not going to be glancing around. They're not doing things for a flourish. Finding out what defines each Avenger's personality is basically, in a nutshell, major key. Now, because each Avenger has their unique personality and therefore fighting style, according to Vince Napoli, and again he does say, and I quote, "The game plays very differently when you play with each of the characters. The personal mechanics are totally different. The way they play defense is very different. For example, unlike Hulk, who has high invincible muscles to absorb the attacks, of course, Widow doesn't block. She's not going to block attacks, she's going to invade them instead. She's going to use her grappling hook to move herself around enemies quickly, as she knows of course she can't take as many hits as the other Avengers can. He also did mention, is quick to point out, should I say as well, that it's when you play the Avengers in multiplayer that it all starts to make sense. The Avengers' strength basically blossoms when all 4 characters, and of course rest in peace Captain America for now, are together. Now when you take multiplayer into account, it actually starts to work really well, because you get really distinct characters. So in multiplayer, it isn't just, hey, we're doing the same things, because no one are doing, similar things. Everyone has their own unique type of little role, which is awesome, and that is exactly what Vince Napoli did say. Now, going off how successful, of course, God of War was, and just the whole character design, the combat especially, it has, literally hit, 10 stars, 5 stars, whatever it is that you can cap the amount on, that game has hit. And again, I've not played it myself, but from what I've seen, it does look very fun to play, and everything does seem to be on point. Now, also to add to that, it is kind of reassuring that when you have someone who's worked on a major game, in this case like God of War, and now they're implementing that skill into a new game, it just kind of, reassures you that, hey, everything is going to be on point with this type of thing. Another thing worth mentioning is when he said that each, character is going to be unique when you do go ahead and play a multiplayer, it kind of led me to an idea which I really did hope maybe would one day be implemented into the game. Again, quoting from what the team said themselves and how they're going to be adding years and years of content into the game, is if you had your own online type of superhero. I mean, when it comes down to the campaign, of course, no, you don't have your unique hero to play, but when you go into multiplayer, you have the option to be these main characters, but at the same time, you can go ahead and create your custom superhero. Now, either these can be things, I've mentioned this similar in the past actually with Spider-Man PS4, but you either have, just a complete plain body, you go ahead from scratch, make your own character name, etc. As far as upgrades and what be it go, you only get that when you're playing online, winning battles, wherever it may well just be. Also, to add to that is if people could make their own superheroes but people vote for it, and just like adding skins into the games, again, I want this to be microtransaction, I guess you could say, but custom skins that are made by communities which then get voted and put onto the main sort of menu for the suits you then just go ahead and make. Most of you guys already know that idea probably from me, but I really still think it is a top-notch idea and it can work really well. So, to sum this video up in a nutshell, Marvel Games is a multiverse, and of course it's not more than likely going to be in the same universe as Spider-Man PS4, because that would just be crazy. If it was, it'd be great, but it'd still be crazy, so it's more likely not going to happen. Chances are it's going to be in the game, just obviously either an Easter egg or a playable character, which we do hopefully want to be a playable character. And then to add to that, we have a very interesting man on the combat team, the character design and everything, who's working on making this game a fantastic game, and you should have nothing but faith in the Avengers game and Square Enix. But guys, you get in the comment section below and let me know what you feel about this game so far. Well, I know how most of you guys feel, but of course we haven't really got any new information to talk about as far as that goes. There's a lot of new gaming events coming up, so it's safe to say now they've made their big statement at, of course, the biggest gaming event in the entire world, in that case obviously being E3 2019, it's safe to say now they can either go ahead, drop random trailers on Twitter or like YouTube accounts, etc., or just make appearances at these gaming events and either reveal new gameplay details or Q&As. It can be a whole lot of different things. But you guys, as always, get in the comment section below and let me know what you think. Now, if you missed the last video, it should be on screen, but it was some bad news, so oh no, it's bad. That was the previous one, and the last one I forgot is actually how to get the beta for free when it comes down to the Avengers game. Of course, you have to pre-order the game to get there, but with that said, there is a little way of going around there where you don't have to essentially pay up front. So go ahead and check that video out. We were talking about hero special moves and demo hopes in general. So I'll see you over there. As always, subscribe for more awesome content if you haven't already. And until the next one, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and adios amigos.
Those weapons. should head back.
No, Sin's on this bridge.